I think that the reason that Bitcoin is going to win is because of the community ethos.
So let me ask you this. So you are, I believe, the longest sitting CEO of a tech company in America. Active CEO, continuous, going 20 years. And you've been around the block a few times. You know the industry. This is like a second life for you, I would say. Was it a shock to suddenly come upon this technology, and really there's been a rebirth for MicroStrategy and for this industry? How do you, on a personal level, was that a surprise to you, and how did you react to that?
You know, I mean, they say we say Bitcoin is hope, and Bitcoin fixes everything. I mean, our stock was at $90 a share. We were $120 a share when we actually decided to embark on this strategy, and it imbued life into the company, life into the employee. Morale was dramatically boosted. You know, we just had our best first quarter we've had in a decade. I was ready to quietly retire. I had not posted on Facebook, not posted on Instagram, not posted on Twitter for 4 years, just about. And then Bitcoin happened to me, and I got dragged into the limelight again. And here I am.
Right. Yeah, it's really an incredible story. And so you mentioned something I was curious about, the culture at the company. You know, the CEO kind of establishes the mood, the culture of the company. So the Bitcoin now has changed the culture. You've seen a change in what's going on in MicroStrategy in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, the employees are really fired up.
Would you say that that's another selling point? In other words, when you talk to other CEOs, you say, oh, the stock's great, this asset's great, melting ice cube is great. But you know what? The culture at our company is also great. I think you have 2,000 employees. It's a big company. It's also a huge benefit there. Is that another point that needs to get across to these CEOs that might be sitting on the fence?
Bitcoin is a technical imperative, it's an economic imperative, and it's a moral imperative. And if you want to revitalize your company, then you need to embrace it, right? And we see that example. If I have $1 billion on the balance sheet and it's in cash, I'm losing $200 million a year. You're draining money out the balance sheet. And if it's not on the P&L, you're not bringing it in on that side. So you're sucking energy out of the company with a conventional treasury strategy. And when we flipped, we started injecting energy into the company. It's like jacking your company into the electric power grid. If you look at successes like Square and PayPal, by them plugging into Bitcoin, it injected energy into their P&Ls. I mean, and they're just wonderful success stories in the industry. Are you doing something good for 8 billion people? Here's an interesting thing. I go on CNBC, and I look on Twitter, and I find like my interviews run 750,000 times on Twitter. And I said to my friend Eric, I said, what's CNBC's audience? And he goes, oh, they only have about 180,000 people watching. And then I said, how did this play against other stories, okay? The CEO of ExxonMobil went on CNBC to talk about the most important thing in the business. He had 4,000 views. The CEO of Apple Computer goes on CNBC, 12,000 views. Barry Diller goes on CNBC and he talks about how he hates Apple Store and how the entire mobile app ecosystem is wrecked, 12,000 views. And so I think the story here is Bitcoin is hope for 8 billion people. If your company is going to be meaningful to the world, do something to spread Bitcoin. And if your company is sitting on a balance sheet that's investing their money into an asset which is losing 20% of its value every year, you know, here's a good idea, right? Stop the bleeding, right? Just stop the bleeding.
Right. So finally, let's just talk about the cyber hornets. On your Twitter, the lead tweet is the mentions of cyber hornets, the plebs, the meme artists, the ground forces, the people who are fighting every day in the trenches. How important are they to this Renaissance 2.0?
I think that the reason that Bitcoin is going to win is because of the community ethos. And when I refer to Cyber Hornets, yeah, I refer to everybody on Twitter and everybody in the community that's educating the world and defending Bitcoin. They're the loud, in-your-face Cyber Hornets. But I was also thinking about every Bitcoin miner running a Bitcoin mining rig everywhere on Earth, and they're fighting for the network. And I was thinking about everybody running a node. And I think of a node is like an altar to Satoshi in your house. As long as everybody is running that node, they're defending the network and they're defending the movement. And I was thinking about every company. And I was thinking about every single technology that integrates into Bitcoin. I was thinking about every analyst and every politician and every journalist that's defending, speaking out for, educating, or supporting this network. And it's happening in every country, in Korean, in Japanese, in Spanish, in Russian, everywhere on Earth. And, you know, one thing that I just love is, you know, if you go on television and you're the CEO and someone says, what do you think about Bitcoin? I think, okay, I'm going to talk about this and try to explain to the world why this is good for the earth, good for technology, the future of humanity. And then when I get done, I go home and I turn on the television, there's another Bitcoin CEO. And then the next morning, there's another Bitcoin CEO. And the next day, there's an analyst. And the next day, there's some politician. And I just think that's so great to be in a community. Every one of them is a cyber hornet. They're all fighting for Bitcoin. And when someone falls, someone else will stand up and carry the banner and take it forward. And I don't think you can say that about anything else on this earth.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man, Maiklseil러. Let's give it up.
Thank you.
For the Sailor Man.
Thank you, Mike.